the blood of a mole? Oh, you have? You have! 3 drops. 3 drops. No more. My wife will die.
Few customers visit my shop, perhaps 3 or 4 people a day. They watch the animals in the cages and seldom buy them. The room is narrow and there's no place for me behind the counter, so I usually sit on my old moth-eaten chair behind the door. Hours to stare at frogs, lizards, snakes, and insects, which wriggle under thick yellowish plates of glass. Visitors come and take frogs for their biology lessons. Fishermen drop in to buy some kind of bait. That's practically all. Soon, I have to close my shop, and I'll be sorry about it, for the sleepy, gloomy smell of formalin has always given me peace and an odd feeling of home. I have worked here for 5 years now. One day, a strange small woman entered my room. Her face looked frightened and gray. She approached me, her arms trembling, unnaturally pale, resembling 2 dead white fish in the dark. The woman did not look at me, nor did she say anything. Her elbows reeled, searching for support on the wooden counter. It seemed she had not come to buy lizards and snails. Perhaps she had simply felt unwell and looked for help at the first open door she happened to notice. I was afraid she would fall and took her by the hand. She remained silent and rubbed her lips with a handkerchief. I was at a loss. It was very quiet and dark in the shop.
Have you moles here?
Moles? I had to tell her I never had sold moles in the shop, and I had never seen one in my life. The woman wanted to hear something else. An affirmation. I have no moles. Hey, wait. Maybe I have some moles.
The blood of the mole can cure sick people. You only have to drink 3 drops of it.
I was scared. I could feel something evil lurking in the dark.
It eases the pain at least.
Are you ill? I'm sorry.
My son is ill.
Her transparent eyelids hid the faint, desperate glitter of her glance. Her hands lay numb on the counter, lifeless like firewood. Her narrow shoulders looked narrower in her frayed gray coat. A glass of water will make you feel better. She remained motionless, and when her fingers grabbed the glass, her eyelids were still closed. She turned to go, small and frail, her back hunching, her steps noiseless and imposing in the dark. I ran after her. I had made up my mind. I'll give you blood of a mole. The woman stopped in her tracks and covered her face with her hands. It was unbearable to look at her. I felt empty. The eyes of the lizard sparkled like pieces of broken glass. I didn't have any moles' blood. I didn't have any moles. I imagined the woman in the room, sobbing. Perhaps she was still holding her face with her hands. Well, I closed the door so she could not see me. Then, I cut my left wrist with a knife. The wound bled and slowly oozed into a little glass bottle. After 10 drops had covered the bottle, I ran back to the room where the woman was waiting for me. Here it is. Here's the blood of a mole. No, no, I wanted to accompany her to the corner. I even poured another glass of water, but she would not wait. The shop was empty again, and the eyes of the lizards glittered like wet pieces of broken glass. Cold, uneventful days slipped by. I could not forget the woman. I lied to her. No one entered my shop, and in the quiet dusk, I tried to imagine what her son looked like. The ground was frozen, the streets were deserted, and the winter tied its icy knot around houses, souls, and rocks. One morning, the door of my shop opened abruptly. The same small gray woman entered, and before I had time to greet her, she rushed and embraced me. Her shoulders were weightless and frail, and tears were streaking her delicately wrinkled cheeks. Her whole body shook, and I thought she would collapse, so I caught her trembling arms. Then the woman grabbed my lap and lifted up to her eyes. The scar of the wound had vanished, but she found a place. Her lips kissed my wrist. Her tears made my skin warm. Suddenly, it felt cozy and quiet in the shop. She wanted to give me money. Her big black bag was full of different things that she had brought for me. I could feel the woman had braced herself up. Her fingers had become tough and stubborn. I accompanied her to the corner, but she only stayed there beside the street lamp, looking at me, small and smiling in the cold. It was so cozy in my dark shop, and the old, imperceptible smell of formalin made me dizzy with happiness. My lizards were so beautiful that I loved them as if they were my children. In the afternoon of the same day, a strange man entered my room. He was tall, scraggly, and frightened.
Have you the blood of the mole?
No, I haven't. I've never sold moles here.
Oh, you have? You have 3 drops. 3 drops. No more. My wife will die. You have! Please!
He squeezed my arm. My blood trickled slowly from the wound. His hand held the little bottle, and the red drops gleaming it like embers. Then the man left, and a little bundle of banknotes rolled on the counter. They shouted, shrieked, and pushed each other.
Blood of a mole! Blood of a mole!
Everyone had a sick Christmas.
Blood
Blood of a mole! Blood of a mole!
Blood of a
Blood of the
mole!
mole!
Blood of a mole!
Blood of a mole! Blood of a mole!